drives us to the village of Jaślany, 200 miles south of Warsaw. Frank was born and lived there until his emigration. Frank's 88-year-old sister Maria is his closest relative in Jaślany.
Cały się wypić jednego.
Ale moja Boże, mój bracie kochany, o moje skarby, o moje, o moje,
O, dobra. Dobra.
Boże mój Boże, ja Cię myślałam, jeszcze, kochanie moje,
Ale olej, no dobrze, dobrze, wszystko nie...
mój Boże.
Ja jestem chory tydziak, jak widzę, tak no. Fajnie, fajnie,
Oj Boże,
fajnie.
gdzie Jezus, braciszko mój złoty, moje serce kochane. O mój Jezus, mój Jezus, o mój Jezus.
Fajnie.
Oj Boże, jeszcze Cię ponieść.
Ale olej, no dobrze,
I tych
w domu są,
chciał go przywieźli, Boże.
w domu są.
Dziękuję wam wszystkim, żeście tego staruszka jeszcze do nas przywieźli. O Boże, o Panie, jak Panu dziękuję. O mój Jezus, jak za tym warto. Wszystko mówię. O Boże, o mój Jezus. O Boże, mój Boże. O moje serce, jak Panu podziękować, jak podziękować. Padam do nóg moich. Moje złoto, moje.
Your hands are cold, Frank tells his sister. You need a shot of vodka to calm you down.
Tak, już źle z tobą.
Moje złote,
Dobra.
Oj Boże,
No,
Boże.
daj spokój.
Dosyć.
Oj Boże.
O, znasz tego człowieka?
Oj Boże. Oj biedaku. Gdzie ja się spodziewała 15 lat, jak
My darling little brother, what a surprise. He's so old, my poor thing, says Frank's sister. All his life he cared about his family, his niece Stasia tells me. Parcels, money, letters. He brought over my mother, my husband, my son-in-law, myself. We all went to Chicago. All his life, everything for the family. To us, he was like a walking holy father. Poor darling. And God has rewarded him with good health. Remember how you would put $1 or $2 into each letter to me, or 5 or 10? Remember? Asked his sister. 5, 10. That's what you call big money? It's nothing. It didn't make me poor, it didn't make you rich, he tells his sister. Oh, I sure did get rich, I sure did, my dear brother, says Frank's sister.
28 lat mój mąż nie żyje.
I had nothing when my husband died. He was a good man. You don't find many people like him. He respected his family. His children never heard a bad word from him. He would never spank them, even raise his voice.
Ani nie krzyczył i boi się go, żeby go nie obrazić.
When my daughter in America learned about his death, her hair turned gray in 2 days. That's how good he was.
Tak chyba i do dzisiaj go widzę, bracie.
No to każdy, ja wiem, jak ja się sam czuję.
It was same with my wife, says Frank. What can you do? She now recalls her visit to America some 25 years ago. She was 60 and Frank wanted her to remarry. He found her a Polish widower with a nice house in Chicago. My dear brother, she told him, I don't want to marry him no matter how rich he is.
Uciekała.
My husband still lives in my heart, every day and night.
To ziemą.
I'm still with him.
Ja, dobrze.
A nie, że ja nie chcę majątków i nie chciałam innego męża.
Even as a poor farmhand, Frank had a reputation for being generous.
Dołki, rofa.
His sister remembers him sharing everything with his friends. Now, with a stack of dollars in his pocket, Frank goes to say hello to his fellow villagers. I am 94, says Frank instead of hello. He knows he will impress these villagers with his American longevity. My God, I don't believe your age, reacts the woman. He tells her he lost his wife, and now he came to visit his sister. How nice of you. It may be the last time before you die, she says.
Macie się dobrze?
I to wszystko Amerykany? Widzisz? No dziecku, podziękuj tam.
Cukierką se kupię.
Tak, podziękuj tam, no.
How are you doing? Is everything still working? Frank asks his old neighbor. As long as your head is up, everything is up, he says. Does that include the other thing, props Frank?
Co, nosić to jeszcze.
Jeszcze nogę po... That's a good one. No, jeszcze raz, bye bye.
Robo,
God.
no chodź.
Takie to
Czego?
żonę zgubiłem 6 miesięcy.
I lost my wife, says Frank.
A, no to trudno, tak?
Ja.
Tak też
That's what
tyle.
life is about, says his old
Tak,
neighbor.
teraz zbieramy pikciory. Bye bye.
Do
Do
widzenia.
widzenia.
Dziękuję.
Popiołek.
Dziękuję, widziałem.
This is the son of the wealthy farmer Frank had worked for before he left for America.
To żona?
Dzień dobry.
Nie, to córka.
Córeczka, jak się ma?
A, dziękuję.
A ojcowie, no to jako.
Takie było.
It was his father who gave Frank $220 for the trip, and later when Frank returned with the payment, refused to take the money.
Ojciec był fajny, ja.
He was a very proud man, says Frank.
Gospodyni, a to był gospodarz. No. Na gospodarstwie, tam gdzie było.
Take us to America with you. I'm sure we would like it over there, says the granddaughter, as they walk toward the barn where Frank took care of the horses.
Dziękuję bardzo.
That's all right, that's all right, that's all right.
A to było z tej strony, tu.
Hey?
Ty nie masz tu światła?
No, to tam był.
Tamte strony sobie.
O, jak się mamy.
I recognize you, says the farmer's grandson. You look a little older.
Zestarzał trochę.
Ze starszy. Ja, też.
Horses were farting in my face. Frank recalls his experience as a 10-year-old hand here.
Z drugiej strony.
Ładny, ojej.
In Frank's time, this was one big pasture. Like other poor kids, Frank and his sister, at the age of 5, were already tending cows here.
Oj Boże, po co to wszystko? Po co to, Panie, bej, tak się męczy, dziecko ściszyło, po co?
What do I need all this for? Asks Frank's sister as they unpack presents from America.
Mamuś, no widzisz,
Po co?
Dama. Tak.
Damy, dobry.
Żebym miała sześć
Ale nie po ziemi, coś.
If I was 60 maybe, but I'm almost 90.
Na zimę.
do trumny za ciężkie.
What do I need it for?
żeby ci
Tell me.
ciepło było.
Jasiu.
O, widzisz, dobre.
Boże,
Leo, sam
Po
raz.
co?
Boże, napakowali ten. Po co my?
Another Frank, whose last name is Giela, is the oldest man in the village.
O, kolego! Który
First, they figure out which one is older.
Z którego ty roku?
1896.
Szósty.
Szósty.
To ja z piąty.
No to pan
To
starszy.
ja jestem starszy.
Starszy.
The local Frank wins by 1 year.
A jeszcze wszystko w porządku?
Then they compare their health. Everything is fine except some loss of hearing.
Tylko troszkę słuch.
Ja,
Już
słuch, mnie też,
przytępiony.
mnie też.
Hej, hej, hej! Hej, hej! Następ się, następ, tak, porządnie. Następ,
What's good about money without good health? Frank introduces his philosophy. But can you feel good without money, they ask him? That's also true. Some 80 years ago, both Franks worked at a lumber mill owned by a man known for his rough treatment of the workers.
To było tako...
A ja mówię, ty cholera Żydzie, mnie ojciec nie uderzył, ty mnie uderzył. Teraz drugie
One day, the 15-year-old Frank Popiołek was slapped in the face by the owner. That night, an angry Frank and his friend jumped the fence and cut one of the machine's drive bells. When the police came the next day, Frank was hiding in a horse barn. 3 days later, he was on a ship to New York. You have no idea how lucky you are to live in America. Go back there and stay away from our misery. I would rather die over there than live here.
Tam jest wolność, nie jak tutaj. Tam wszystko mamy.
No widzi pan.
Frank checks the local prices of milk and bread and gives the Polish economy failing grades.
Ani chleba nie kupisz, bochenka.
Ani chleba nie.
It is still the same old Poland full of
A u
bitterness.
nas zrobić cały tydzień.
He had no choice but live it.
Dobrych kolację kupisz taką, co kosztuje tutaj jakie...
I am 70 years old, says the milkman, but I am ready to go to America anytime and work. It's not easy to get a job today, unless you know a trade. Then you will find something. I can do any job. But remember, you must not tell anybody you are 70. Say you are 50. Why not? You need a nice close shave and good haircut. You could easily pass for 50.
Nogą pokiwiać.
Look at you. Everybody notices that you are from a different country. Look how clean you are, how elegantly dressed. You have money in your pocket. That's life.
Takich ludzi to spotykać.
I tell you, it's a real pleasure meeting people like you.
Dzień dobry, witam pana.
Do you remember me, Mr. Frank? I helped you put the shingles on the roof of your house in Chicago.
Pana na domie. Pamięta tam?
Gdzie?
But Frank doesn't remember.
On nam doradzał.
Tell me, Mr. Frank, how is it possible that the whole world builds new houses but not Poland?
A tam się...
And why, when someone builds here, everybody asks him where the money comes from? Asks Frank and answers his own question.
Tam się jej nie pyta, skąd te pieniądze wziąć? A tutaj...
Because you don't have freedom.
Tak.
Cholera, żena. Wolność.
In America, we have people from all around the world, and they are all free. That's right, from the whole world, most of them Japanese and Chinese. No, you've got it wrong. Well, that's what I've read. There are many Japanese, but not that many. But they are good in business. Well, the Jews are still the best. Oh, Jews, they are everywhere. You've got that right. Are you a Pole or an American? I once asked Frank. I know how to do things right, and that makes me an American, he answered. But I am Polish at heart.
To drugie tu, tylko nie wiadomo jaki size.
However, he is a little angry at Poland for its backwardness. Sunday morning. The local priest has learned about Frank's visit. Before Mass, he wants Frank to come over and talk about important matters. Make sure that the money you will give for collection will be in your pocket, so you don't have to open your wallet in public, the husband of his niece instructs him.
Do niego jakbyś poszedł, to mu to wydali. Tak. A na ofiarę do dolara dej. Możesz?
$1 is enough, but if the priest will invite Frank to his house, an additional $5 will be appropriate, they decide.
Dlatego, bo proszę pana, dach jest zgnity,
Ja.
drzewo zepsute. Widzi pan, ile tu
You
drzewa
see how
kupiłem
much
na
lumber I
dach?
had to buy.
No.
Now let me tell you, if we won't do something, this roof may collapse on the
Może
church.
się zwalić na kościele. Jest kościół kryty dachówką, która
This is a slate roof, but we cannot find this type of slate in Poland, so we must cover the roof with something else.
Teraz, obecnie u nas nie ma dachówki palonej, takiej, jaką jest kryty ten kościół. No i właśnie takiego dobrodzieja
Copper is the best, and I am looking for a benefactor like you who would buy the copper and make his name famous for generations in Jaślany.
I taki ufundował blachę miedzianą na kościół w Jaślanach.
You need a big collection. Frank pretends he didn't get the message. It's not such a big deal. You don't need miracles.
A ja nie wiem.
How much of a miracle do you need? Asks Frank. A couple of thousands, that's it,
I wielkie ajwary.
says the priest, who is obviously unfamiliar with the price of
A
copper.
potem
Think about it. What sense does it make to take this money to your grave? You are talking big money. It's a big church, and it has a big roof.
Alleluja. Alleluja. Słowo Pana trwa na wieki. Te słowa ogłoszono wam jaką dobrą nowinę.
As a little boy, Frank helped to build this church. With other 10-year-olds, he carried bricks and handed them to the masons.
Czy chcecie, aby Karolina otrzymała chrzest w wierze Kościoła, którą przed chwilą wspólnie wyznaliśmy?
Do you believe in Jesus Christ? The priest asks the new parents. Do you want your child to follow the Catholic faith? He then gives the newborn babies Christian names.
Czy chcecie, aby Danuta Alicja otrzymała chrzest w wierze Kościoła, którą przed chwilą wspólnie wyznaliśmy? Danuto Alicjo, ja Ciebie chrzczę w imię Ojca i Syna i Ducha Świętego.
What kind of money is it? Someone asks, as Frank puts $2 on the forehead of each of the babies. American, answers Frank and introduces himself. My name is Frank Popiołek, he says. I've been living in America for 79 years. I left Jaślany when I was 15 in 1911. I'm sure you know my sister. I helped to build this church. I carried the bricks. God bless you, they say.
Joachim Popiołek, to ojciec.
This is your father Joachim, says the husband of his niece.
O, to tatuś mój.
I know, this is my dear father. How can I help you?
Nie pomoże.
I can't help you.
Brat,
Tutaj.
tak, Antek.
And your brother is here too. And this is your mother. She died in 1932.
Twoja leży. Zmarła w 32 roku 1000.
Ja.
Gdzie,
32.
przeczytałeś? Tam jest napis. Tak.
Oj, Boże.
This is the day Frank says goodbye to Jaślany. Same old Frank, like a little boy, his sister teases him.
Myśmy mieszkali w małym domku pod
His niece thanks him for coming.
Nie było podłogi, tak się wychowałam jako dziecko.
We always lived in a small house, straw roof, dirt floor, that's how I grew up. We all ate, washed and slept in the same room. It changed when Frank invited my husband to Chicago.
Prowadził męża za granicę, mąż
Janek came back
wrócił,
with money. We built a house with water, central heating, bathroom, living room. We bought furniture.
wodę pomeblowali. Resztę pieniędzy człowiek zaoszczędził, nie straciło się nic. Ja się nie
Instead of
ubierałam,
spending the
ani
rest on clothes and entertainment, we saved for the children.
ani nic. Tylko człowiek trzymał dla dzieci, bo dzieci były, żeby dzieciom kiedyś w życiu pomóc. I faktycznie, no córka się wykształciła. ta
We
starsza,
educated our two
no i druga
daughters. When one got married, we bought her an apartment and furnished it.
mieszkanie umeblowaliśmy, urządziliśmy, tak jak panowie widzieli, nie ma źle, dobrze ma. Tak, a wszystko
All thanks to our
dzięki
American
wujowi,
uncle.
dzięki
Without him,
pomocy
we would still be
rodziny
poor.
za granicą. Bo gdyby nie rodzina za granicą, to by była biedunia. Tak.
We owe him so much, this darling man.
Jesteśmy wdzięczni całe życie temu bidakowi, temu
All
wujowi
these
kochanemu.
things, they're
Dzięki
his.
jemu, to jest wszystko jego.
Six trains stop every day at the Jaślany railroad station. 3 of them are diesel. The others are still pulled by steam locomotives. From here, Frank escaped the poverty of Poland. The 15-year-old who barely could write his name was going to a paradise called America. For 12 days and nights, he sailed on a German steamship, later declared by congressional investigators as unsuitable even for animal cargo. $1 a